What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another episode of Predict the Prem. As it stands, 27 points to Simeon, 33 points to me. The gap has been shut from 10 points to 6. Simeon, was dancing around the room when he got that correct scoreline yesterday. My dad didn't even know what you were celebrating.
No.
He was like, well, West Ham scored another goal. What's going on?
I was happy about that, but wasn't dancing about Chelsea, even though I got that one right. But look, close the gap. There's a lot of football to be played. I'm confident I can cut it back, but we'll see what happens.
All right, a big weekend of Premier League action this weekend.
Very big, yeah.
A lot of big games this weekend at the bottom and at the top. So let's get straight into it. Let's start off with Wolves Leeds. What have you gone for?
I've gone for 3-1 to Wolves. 3-1 to Wolves.
3-1 to Wolves. I've gone for 1-1. I think that Wolves, they're slightly on a bit of good form, starting to pick up again. Leeds, a bit hit and miss. You don't know kind of how they're going to perform or what scoreline is going to become. Leeds games are very unpredictable, aren't they?
Unpredictable.
But I do feel that they would have taken a bit of confidence at the end of that Arsenal game. Yeah, I know they lost by quite a big scoreline, 4-2 at the end of the day, but they were galvanising towards the end. And I think that if the game did go on a bit longer, I felt that Leeds would have got back in the game. I really do think that. So I've gone for 1-1.
Yeah, I just think Wolves at the moment in decent form. One loss in the last last 5 games. They were unbeaten in 3 now after the win against Arsenal when they were in wretched form. They've turned the corner a bit. And I feel like with this Leeds side, if you can keep it tight, you're always going to get chances against them. And Wolves have been fairly decent defensively recently. And with the new strikers in Willian Jose and Pedro Neto in good form, I'm going for them to win.
Yeah, Pedro Neto really is in good form. He's been in good form all season, to be honest. Let's go on to Southampton Chelsea. I've gone for 2-0 to Chelsea.
I went for 2-1 to Chelsea. I think with Tuchel at the moment, he's got this side playing really well, and Werner especially, he's really turned on in form, getting assists and got his first goal in a few games last week. Southampton got Kyle Walker-Peters missing. They are on a run of 6 straight defeats, and I can see that continuing in this game. But I do expect them to score a goal. They're a very, very attacking side, and with Danny Ings in there, I expect them to get a goal. But I think Tuchel's side will have too much for them.
I feel the way Tuchel set up this side, they're just not conceding goals at the moment. They're just not. And Southampton confidence just at rock bottom, as you said, with 6 defeats. So I've just gone for Chelsea to win 2-0. I feel Southampton will start off on the front foot, but I think Chelsea will just pick them off as and when they feel like it, to be honest. But look, let's move on to Burnley against West Brom. What have you gone for?
I've gone for 1-0 to West Brom.
Ooh, I've gone for 1-0 to Burnley.
Oof. This is going to be a close one. It could go either way.
You've gone for a Big Sam special.
Yeah, I know Burnley are in good form. They just swatted Palace away 3-0 pretty easily. But I think in this one, West Brom, just on the back of a draw against Man United, they might have a bit of confidence going into it. And they know they really, really have to start picking up wins from somewhere. And even now, I don't think they're 12 points off 17th right now. So they're very, very far adrift. But they might give it a good fight from now to the end of the season. I can see them picking up a few wins, even if they don't stay up. And I can see a win coming from here, and that might give them a bit of confidence going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, I just feel Burnley's form is a bit too strong for this one. I think that West Brom just haven't looked good ever since Big Sam has taken over, to be honest. They
played well against United, though.
Yeah, that's true. They did play well against United. I think, look, with West Brom, actually, they've pulled off performances in the big games. It's in these small games where they come undone. So, yeah, I've just gone for Burnley 1-0 at Turf Moor. Their form at Turf Moor is absolutely brilliant at the moment.
That is true.
Merseyside derby, Liverpool against Everton at Anfield. I have gone for a Desmond 2-2.
I've gone for Liverpool 2, Everton 1.
Ooh.
2-1 Everton. 2-1 Liverpool, sorry.
I think Everton, they are on good form, but they had a very poor performance against Fulham. But I do feel this is...
City, I wasn't that impressed with them either. I know they got a goal, but I don't know. They weren't that great.
I didn't see the game, but in the Merseyside derby, Everton are going to be bang on this. And so are Liverpool, to be honest. But with Liverpool form at Anfield, they've lost their last 3 games at Anfield. I've just got a feeling Everton could nick a draw here.
I think we're no Calvert-Lewin, who's such a big element. I think so. I think he's been ruled out. So if I think he's not playing. and with him not playing, that's a big blow for Everton for me, and I think it's such a big part to how they play, especially against Liverpool, where they're going to need an outlet, someone to hold the ball up and someone to battle the centre-backs. I know Richarlison, I'm sure, will give them a good game, but if they had Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, I can maybe see them getting a couple of goals, but with only Richarlison, I can only see them getting one goal, and I think Liverpool, despite the fact with all their troubles, I know they lost against Leicester last time out 3-1. They did play very well for most of the game, and they still got goals in that side. And I think they're just going to shade this one.
I mean, if Liverpool's last 2 games are anything to go by, Alisson Blunderland should be giving away a couple of goals anyway. So
that's true.
I've gone for 2-2. Let's move on to another big game at the bottom. Fulham, Sheffield United.
I've gone 2-0 Fulham.
Ooh, I've gone 2-1 Fulham.
2-1 Fulham.
Yeah.
You want Sheffield United to get a goal?
Yeah, I feel Sheffield United can nick a goal against Fulham. I've been very impressed with Scotty Parker's Fulham over the past, well, to be honest, the whole season, ever since they turned it around just after the start. So, yeah, I think Fulham will win this one, but I think it will be closer than people imagine. Sheffield United have done well over the past couple of weeks, so I back them to get a goal, but I think Fulham will just nick it.
Actually, yeah, Sheffield United's revival has probably been dampened a bit by the losses against 3-0 loss to West Ham, although that scoreline I don't think reflected the game. And also they had a good performance against Sheffield United, but again, against Chelsea, but again they just missed out on that one. I think Fulham, off the back of that result against Everton in midweek. Was that midweek? Sorry, Everton on the weekend. Did they play midweek as well? And then they drew away at Burnley, which they could have won that as well. I think they'll take that in good stead, and they're closing in on the relegation at the moment. We're 6 points off Newcastle now, so they've given themselves a chance, and I back them to get another win here.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle really looking behind them now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, for sure, especially the form they're on.
All right, now the big one, the London derby, West Ham against Tottenham. I have gone 2-0 to Tottenham.
2-0. I went 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 to Spurs. I think off the back of resting players, I think we should have a few goals in us. I know West Ham are in good form, but I really believe that the quality of the players in our squad are better. And we know it's such a massive game. We can't afford to lose this. And I think we're going to be bang on it. I think Mourinho showed in midweek how important he sees this game. I think West not even taking Kane at all to Budapest. So I think he knows how vital this one is, so I'm going to go for Tottenham to shade it 2-1.
Yeah, not playing Kane at all, taking off Gareth Bale with the game in mind as well. Heung-min Son going off at half-time, so I think that our players are well rested for this one. West Ham, yes, they're on good form, but it's just a must-win for Spurs. I mean, we just have to win this one, and I got a feeling that our defence is going to perform somehow as well this weekend, so I've gone 2-0 to Spurs. Let's move on to Aston Villa against Leicester at Villa Park.
I've gone for 2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
I've gone for 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. Two very good sides. Both like to play football. Both rely very heavily on star players such as Grealish and Jamie Vardy. I think Leicester, they drew 0-0 in midweek, and I think that might take its toll because they played a very strong lineup against Slavia Prague, and Villa off the back of a. Off the back of their result, what was their result against Brighton 0-0? They got battered that game. They got very lucky to come away with the draw, but at least they did get a 0-0, and they're still in the hunt for the European spots. And I can see Watkins and Grealish really turning up in this one, but I think they won't be good enough to keep Leicester out. So I'm going 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, I think both defences are actually performing quite well at the moment. Aston Villa, 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games. Leicester as well. I mean, they've got a really good defensive setup to play on the counter-attack. So I don't think there's going to be that many goals in it. So that's why I've gone 1-1. I was thinking 2-2 originally, but I actually changed it to 1-1 because of that. All right, and let's move on. Arsenal against Manchester City at the Emirates.
I've gone for 2-0 to City.
Yeah, same.
2-0 to City.
Same, exactly the same.
To City. Yeah, I think they're obviously City 17 wins in a row. I can see them shutting Arsenal out, and it doesn't matter what lineup they play with De Bruyne and Aguero back as well. Even if they are struggling to score up, they can bring them on and they can hurt.
De Bruyne's back.
Yeah, he came on last game, so I think they should have too much for Arsenal. Even though Arsenal they got Saka and Aubameyang and in decent form.
I mean,
but
if you call Aubameyang in this form, I don't know if you saw the highlights of the Arsenal game
I
last
saw his
night.
miss, crazy miss. But he did score a hat-trick in his last game. So I think City will have too much for them. So 2-0.
Yeah, I completely agree. Manchester United against Newcastle at Old Trafford.
2-0 United.
Exactly the same. I've gone 2-0 United as well. Potentially Newcastle could get a goal here with they've kind of got a new lease of life in the last couple of weeks, playing a bit of more attacking football, a bit more on the front foot. But I just feel Man United are going to have way too much for Newcastle and pick them off at every opportunity. And I think it'll be a bit too much to handle for Newcastle.
Yeah, and Callum Wilson not there. So that's a big miss for them. Obviously, they've got St. Maximan, but I can't see too much. Especially, I watched them against Chelsea, and they were completely toothless. They offered nothing, and they never really hurt them once. And I think United, off the back of that 4-0 win against Sociedad, even though it was on a Thursday, they should have enough legs in them to overcome this Newcastle side. So 2-0 Newcastle, 2-0 United.
All right, and last but not least, it is the weirdest rivalry in the Premier League, that is for sure. Brighton against Palace. I mean, these sets of fans hate each other, and it's so
strange.
weird, isn't it?
What's it called? The M6 derby or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-1 to Brighton.
Yeah, exactly the same as
2-1
well.
Brighton.
Yeah, I've gone 2-1 Brighton.
I see. So,
I mean, Palace just haven't done well the last couple of weeks, and I think Brighton are just really on just mad form. They really are. I think second or third in the form table. So I'm sticking with them to keep that good run going. 2-1.
Yeah, I think they're playing really, really well. They should have beaten Villa. It wasn't for Martinez making like 9 saves or something. They would have beaten Villa. And they're playing really, really well ever since they beat us. Pretty much, they've been playing really, really well. And I've been very impressed with how they've turned their form around, because everyone looked like they could have been heading for the drop at one point, and they have turned it around. So,
I mean, you always said they're in a false position, even when they're on bad form, didn't you?
And now it's proved. So it's proved at the moment. But they are still looking behind them, 7 points off Fulham. But I think with each week with more points, I think they're going to get further and further away. So I'm going for a Brighton win here.
All right, so there you have it. That is our Premier League predictions. And let me know in the comment section below what your predictions are. Let me know who you think is going to come on top this week. Is it going to be me or Sim? The scores at the moment are 33-27. Simeon has closed the gap from 10 points to 6 points. So let me know who you think is going to come on top. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.